Matthew, how are you?
Pretty good. Hurting a little bit, but my spirit is very high. Very, very positive right now.
As I was going to ask you, how's the body feeling?
My left calf is throbbing right now. My right foot hurts a little bit, and my right hand hurts a little bit. But other than that, I'm pretty good.
We'll try not to keep you so long. It was the battle of the Matthews, battle of the hair. How do you feel about your performance?
Happy with it for sure. Not satisfied, but very happy with myself for turning it around after so not great performance last fight. And then coming in here, putting in a lot of work for this last training camp, and just mentally, spiritually, and physically just being ready to go.
I went over Jake Matthews is big. What's that mean to you?
Just means a step in the right direction, in terms of my maturity and growth as both a fighter and a human. For a guy like Jake, who's been in the UFC for a while, he basically grew up in the UFC in his career. He's fought some of the best guys, so therefore he is one of the best guys that the UFC has to offer. So it's cool, man.
Someone put out a stat that you have 7 knockdowns in 7 fights, and then you have 2 15-second knockouts. I mean, that's crazy, right?
Pretty wild, man. But at the same time, I take it from my football career, man. I was idolized Sean Taylor, idolized these Brian Dawkins, these hard-hitting defensive players that just went out there and just lay their bodies out on the line, man. That's if I can do that every fight, I'd like to. That'd be my style that I want to put out there.
I mean, it's pretty goddamn close comparisons. What was the game plan coming into the fight?
The game plan was to literally use any and all my skills necessary to win the fight, and I think that was pretty much paramount in helping me win, because a lot of past fights I kind of fell in love. I love boxing, and whether you're talking about Dempsey or these old school boxers to all the way now Triple G and some of these modern day boxers, I've always loved boxing, but it's got me in trouble with fights because I'll just use my hands, and it's pretty easy to deal with somebody in mixed martial arts. That's all they're doing is trying to box with you. So Coach John, Coach Sebastian, and my brother were all harping on me yo, go out there, you need to perform, and you need to use every single bit of your skills necessary. You do that, you're going to win this fight.
Were you surprised he was still going in that third round after dropping him? I mean, dropping him pretty bad.
Not really, man. I mean, like I said, I talked to Paul a little bit after because he kind of asked me a similar question. I was nah, man, not really. He's one of the toughest that there is out there. So I totally knew he was going to be able to recover. Don't get me wrong, I was looking for the finish. But I think it was just kind of a little bit of my maturity and experience as a fighter starting to show. It's all right, I drop him, I'll give a couple hard shots to try to finish it and put it away. But once I realize, okay, I missed, all right, let's settle down before I blow my whole wad, and then he can turn it around on me.
Do you think this is your best performance in the UFC so far?
Definitely, hands down.
And then kind of just rate your 2022. You went 2-1, two really impressive wins. And then a fight at UFC 277 that got the crowd, you lost, but it was still a fun fight. So just rate yourself.
Yeah. Excuse me. Stomach. I give myself probably a B, maybe a B minus or something like that. I don't like to give myself too much credit because there's a side of me that wants to be you're the champ, you're great, this and that, which is good. You need that positivity. But at the same time, man, you got to reel yourself back. And I've been more of the reel myself back, which has got me in trouble too. Because when I went into the Alex Moreno fight, I kind of gave him a little bit too much respect, too much oh, this is a veteran, I got to really be careful here, Whereas this fight I went in, I'm you know what, I don't care how many fights this dude has. I'm a beast, man. I'm going to go out there and show it. So.
Awesome. And then when would you like to return? Are you looking to get 3 fights again next year? And is there anybody, I know that you were calling for that Ian Gary fight, but is there anybody else on the top of your head that you want to fight?
I'm not big on call-outs, man. I think as I kind of keep getting experience, I'm going to probably start chirping a little bit more and start putting names out there and stuff like that. But at the same time, man, I could die tomorrow and never fight again. So we'll see. I've always loved all the UFC, all that the UFC's offered me. Every person that they've thrown at me, I've enjoyed the challenge, and I've enjoyed preparing for it, and I've enjoyed the fight. So whoever they want to throw at me. I haven't had any welterweight call me out yet, so maybe I'll get a call out from somebody, and we'll see if they want to dance. But maybe after this fight, I'll start getting some people calling me out.
And last two for me. Plans still with the hair? Are you still letting it grow?
Oh, of course, man. Yeah. I think we talked about this before, man. I think when we were doing an interview, and I was like, man, I'm going to grow this hair out, and then I'm telling you, when I'm retired, that's when it's coming off.
Insane. And then finally, did you watch the new Andor series on Disney Plus, new Star Wars series?
No, I'm not gonna lie, man. I wanted to, but this, and even from I'm like a huge gamer, tabletop and video games and stuff like that. I'm a huge nerd. I put that stuff aside this training camp reluctantly because I needed to focus on this fight. So that's probably gonna be a common thing for me. I'll save the getting hardcore into the gaming for when I'm kind of like recovering and not so much in training camp. But I am going to probably get right on the Andor.
So it seems like you're going to have a nice holiday binge watching some shows.
Of course.
Congrats.
Thanks, brother.